Next up is meditation. Oh, at least finally, I can breathe a little bit. So it's something I personally started recently to do, and I loved it so much I looked into it more. And I found an app called Headspace that is getting very popular, and I invited the two founders to be with us, Pierson, and Andy Puddicome, the founders of Headspace. Yes, Headspace, sorry. Welcome, guys.
Hi. Hello.
Hello. Thanks.
So, one of you was a circus clown?
That's him.
Yeah, I have the strangest resume you can imagine.
You were a clown?
Well, I was a Buddhist monk for many years.
You were a Buddhist monk and a clown?
And then I did what every Buddhist monk does afterwards. And I joined a circus school and did a degree in circus arts. Yeah.
What kind of clown? You were like...
Yeah, we do all kinds of clowning. I was looking for a way, when I was in the monastery, I was looking for innovative ways to kind of teach meditation. And I was looking for kind of that serious kind of way that most people perceive it, for me, kind of didn't really work. And so I was kind of just looking for ways to kind of bring some fun into it, some juggling into it, all kinds of different kind of ways of explaining metaphors. And so that was my route in. Yeah.
So does anyone use Headspace in the room? Okay, so if you use it, that's the guy who talks.
Yeah.
Which is very weird because
I have a cold today, so I sound a little different.
You might be a little, sleepy or a little like in your mind when you meditate, and is the voice you
That's
get.
me.
So Rich, how did you guys meet? Because you're a business guy.
Well, yeah, I come from a creative background, and I think that's kind of how Headspace started, really, in that I was stressed out, had a good job, but was finding it pretty hard. And I met Andy, and he was teaching people one-on-one in a clinic how to meditate, and we did a bit of a skill swap. He taught me to meditate, and I gave him some ideas for marketing his clinic. And I don't know what he said to me while he was teaching me to meditate.
Kind of a bit of a, and you will come and work for me, you will come and work. And that was it,
And I quit my job, and then, we started Headspace.
Yeah. So, and that sounds, I have to say, most people in Europe are pretty negative to this.
Yeah.
When I explain my own experience, which I can come back to, but I want to hear about you guys, they're like, you started meditating, you live in San Francisco, and what's next? You're vegan, you're going to be vegan too, right?
Yeah.
And you've been in San Francisco too long, Loic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so it's something that exists for thousands of years, and what happens is, if you take the religion of a cult part away from it, it's a science.
It is. I think in and of itself, an easy way to think about it is meditation is simply a skill. And the user defines what it is by how you choose to apply it. So for some people, it's about reducing stress. For others, it's about sleeping better. For others, it's about having more harmonious relationships. For businesses, it's about productivity and efficiency. We train Olympic athletes. For them, it's about performance. So I think that's the interesting thing. Once you take the culture away from it, the tradition away from it, you have a scientifically proven skill, which can help us in so many different areas of life.
So let's get the numbers, because this is a business audience. So we can get into why we should meditate, but they will be more excited if we tell about your success. No, seriously, because when I start talking about meditation, everybody's like, yeah. But then you look at what you've done. So you guys have 1 million users.
Yeah.
Just under.
First, what is it? It's an iPhone, it's an iPhone app and Android.
Yeah.
And Android.
And Android. And a web platform as well,
Right, where you go and you just listen to your iPhone or your Android, and you guys will guide us into what. Can you explain what happens?
Yeah, the way that we kind of talk about it is a kind of gym membership for the mind. So it's a way of getting bite-sized audio and video content that we deliver via your mobile or a web platform. And it leads you through, like Andy's designed all the content, and it leads you through a kind of a staircase learning. So each day builds on the next, and you get a different meditation served up every day for a year.
And we were working it out yesterday over the 2 different versions, the 2 different platforms that we've done so far. There's around 1,000 hours of content So
1,000 hours.
yeah.
And so you have 1 million users.
Yeah.
And that million users, thanks for sharing this, by the way,
Pleasure.
18%, but 20% convert into paid.
18%.
18%.
That's a pretty good conversion rate.
Yeah, it's pretty
high.
How
sticky.
much is Headspace?
About $8 a month.
And so you start the 10 first
So
meditation.
it's free to
Yeah.
download, and the first 10 days are free to use, and you can use that as many times as you want. We have some people who just choose to do that, but people who kind of want to push on a little bit further, then they pay to subscribe.
So 200,000 users by $8 a month.
Well, we've got enough, yeah.
Not bad.
We do okay.
It's okay.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations. How big is your team? Now I'm trying to, so I got the revenue, now I'm trying to get the profit.
Team's just under 30.
Wow.
Yeah.
In what, 2 years?
The subscription business launched in January 2012, but we launched in 2010.
Yeah, we were running events for maybe 2 years
doing what you
before we launched subscription.
This is very impressive. Why do you think there is such do you think it's a fashion and it's going to die?
I think meditation's been around for, as you say, for several thousand years. I look at that as R&D. Like, that's a lot of time to refine and develop the techniques and the exercises. I think it's always evolved, and this is just a natural evolution of meditation. In the past, people would have gone to a particular place to learn it. Now they don't go to that place. So we serve it up to people where they are, and we allow them to use it how they want to use it and where they want to use it, and that means on their phone. I think that the science in particular is interesting in the last 10, 15 years. The introduction of functional MRI imaging, like, that's allowed scientists, neuroscientists, to see what's happening kind of before, during, and after meditation. And they find, that the parts of the brain associated with happiness and well-being, those are actually thicker and stronger in people who meditate. So, I think as that science gets stronger, in the same way that health and fitness has evolved, I think mind fitness or mind health will evolve in the same way.
So did you want to show a video, and then you want to do a guided meditation on stage?
Well, I thought if you're all up for it, we kind of maybe just do a short 10-minute exercise, just to show you kind of that it's...
10 minutes?
10 minutes. Well, 5-10 minutes.
Wow.
We'll see how we go.
They're going to throw things at us.
This is actually the worst possible time of day to do it, right after lunch. If you fall asleep, don't worry, it's normal, and I'll talk you through the exercise, and you can nudge the person next to you if they're still sleeping afterwards.
But you have a video, right, first?
Yeah, just going to show you a really short animation. So for us at Headspace, kind of bringing a creative, fun, exciting kind of approach to meditation is really important. It's something that Rich has kind of worked very hard on. So we use a lot of illustration, animation. We have our own in-house team. And just to kind of set up one of the principles, one of the misconceptions maybe about meditation, just going to show you this short animation to begin.
Take a moment to imagine a bright blue sky stretching off into the distance. Feels pretty good, right? This is a perfect metaphor for the mind, a blank canvas on which thoughts, feelings, and experiences appear. Okay, so maybe there are just a few clouds, but they tend not to bother us or distract us too much, especially if they're the cute little fluffy variety. This is how the mind appears when it's calm, bright, serene, and happy. But life isn't always easy. Sometimes there are a lot more clouds in the sky. Sometimes they might be the dark and stormy variety. Occasionally we might even begin to wonder if a hurricane is on the way. It gets to the point that it's hard to think of anything else. In fact, sometimes we get so obsessed by the clouds that we forget about the blue sky altogether. But it's still there. Every time you're in a plane and you fly through the clouds, there it is, right? Without fail, blue sky. It's easy to forget that what we're looking for is already here. And that's why we need reminding.
So that's one of... Well, thank you very much. I think that is one of the biggest misconceptions, that we have to kind of try through control or will to stop the thoughts, to stop the mind. But if you could do that, you would have already done it a long time ago, and you wouldn't need to learn meditation. So it's understanding at the very beginning that we're not trying to force the mind to do anything. that underlying sense of calm and contentment, clarity is already there. What we need to do is get comfortable with the thoughts that are passing by, and when we do that, they naturally slow down, and that blue sky, that space of calm and contentment, that becomes more apparent. So, as I say, we're going to do a short, maybe we'll make it a 5-minute exercise. What I'd like you to do, I don't know if we can have the lights down just slightly for this. I don't want you to sit in any special way, but it's helpful if, just to begin, if you can sit with your arms and your legs uncrossed and sitting reasonably upright on the chair. Obviously, the more slouched you are, the more likely you are to go to sleep. And it's good if we can kind of have a nice balance of focus and relaxation, not too much relaxation, not too much focus. Okay. So the first thing I'd like you to do, are you okay, Loic, if I stand up?
Please drive.
Yeah. Okay,
Please.
so the first thing I'd like you to do is just to look directly ahead of you. Okay, no matter what that is, it might be the person's head directly in front of you, it could be the screen at the front, the stage, doesn't matter. And I'd just like you to look with a very sort of soft gaze. So you not only see what's directly in front of you, but you also take in your peripheral vision, you can see the person either side, and even above and below. And just maintaining that very soft gaze. Just take a couple of nice big deep breaths for me, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. No matter how silly it feels, I'd like you to do just these first 2 or 3 breaths loud enough so that the person next to you can hear you breathe out. So breathing in through the nose as you breathe in, just focusing on the sensation of the chest expanding, the lungs filling with air. And as you breathe out, just feeling the body soften a little bit. And with the very next out breath, I'd just like you to gently close your eyes. Now, as soon as you close your eyes, you're immediately going to become more aware of your other senses. I'd like you to start off by just noticing the sensation of touch. So, not thinking about it, but just becoming aware of the sensation of the body against the chair beneath you. The sensation of the feet on the floor, and of the hands and the arms just resting on the legs. So just bringing the mind into the body. I'd like you to notice any sounds as well. So it's really tempting to think that the sounds and noises will get in the way of a quiet mind. But I'd like you to actually use the sounds. Take 10 seconds or so just to notice all the different sounds around you. Okay, and just bringing the mind back to the body now. Starting at the top of the head, I'd like you to just gently scan down through the body. Take the next 10, 20 seconds just to scan down through the body, noticing which parts of the body feel comfortable, which feel relaxed, what feels tense, a little bit tight. Normally, we're so caught up in our thoughts, we're not even conscious of how the body feels. So just scanning down through the body. Again, perfectly normal for thoughts to arise. Don't worry if they do. It's usual to get distracted. Each time you realize the mind's wandered off, just gently bringing the attention back again as you scan down towards the toes. Now, as you scan down, you may have already noticed that as the body breathes, it creates a sort of rising and falling sensation. You might feel it around your stomach, the diaphragm, the chest. If you can't feel anything, you can just gently place your hand on your stomach. But just notice, for just a few breaths, how the breath's long or short, deep or shallow. You don't need to do anything special with the breath. You're just aware of that feeling, that sensation, that movement. And just to help you focus on that movement, on that sensation, just slightly count the breaths as they pass. So as you feel the rising sensation, just quietly to yourself, you count 1, falling sensation 2, then 3, then 4, just up to a count of 10. When you get to 10, you can stop and start again at 1. So just following the breath, just counting the breaths as they pass. So just enjoying the opportunity of switching off, having nothing to do. Don't even need to try to breathe. Just watching the breath, allowing the mind to rest. And just for a moment now, I'd like you to let go of that focus, not even focusing on the breath now. In fact, for the next 10, 15 seconds, just let your mind do whatever it wants to do. If it wants to think, let it think. So let the mind be completely free. So allowing thoughts to come and go. And then just bringing the attention back to the body once again. Back to the sounds around you in the room. Back to that feeling of the body on the chair, the feet on the floor, the hands and the arms on the legs. And in your own time, when you're ready, you can just gently open the eyes again. And if we could get the lights up just a little bit, very slowly, just so we wake up anyone who has fallen asleep, that would be great. Right. So, just out of interest, who feels different now? Better or worse? I'm interested in both. But different than you did 10 minutes ago. Okay, who feels better? Okay, who feels a little bit worse? And it's okay to feel worse. Just to reassure anybody, if you find yourself feeling a little more tired, that's usual. We tend to run on overdrive a great deal of the time. We store up a lot of our tiredness. When we stop, we suddenly realize how tired we are. It's not that meditation is making us tired. Meditation is essentially increased awareness. So we're just becoming more aware of how tired we are. We're allowing our body to catch up a little bit. Obviously, this isn't the most conducive environment, maybe, to meditate. But I really recommend, if you want to download the app, try 10 days for yourself. Even if it's something you've never kind of thought of before, but maybe something you might benefit from. Just try it as an experiment. 10 minutes a day for 10 days and see if it makes a difference for you.
Thank you so much.
A pleasure, Loic. Pleasure.
Stay with us for a few seconds. I cannot not say how much it did for me. I've been doing this for 6 months every single day. And I know it sounds weird, but completely created a space for me that I can get back to at any point. I used the app at the beginning, now I do it on my own.
Yeah.
But I get why people would continue. You have businesses, by the way, using the app, right?
Yeah, a lot of businesses, yeah.
How does this work?
It's volume subscription into large corporations at a kind of discount, but we also create bespoke content based on kind of HR needs. So mindful use of technology, how to improve focus, how to improve creativity, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we work in that way with those
But
guys.
so the challenge is that I wanted to share with you that first is to give up.
Yeah.
It's useless. That's the very first feeling, and you're wasting your time. And honestly, after a few weeks, that's the first challenge. You're not wasting your time. You can feel this. You just quiet, and it's like a crazy monkey going on in your brain,
Exactly
right?
that, yeah.
And the monkey gets like quieter and quieter. But the problem is, the first month it does nothing. Basically, that's what it did to me.
Okay.
Nothing, not much.
I think it's interesting. It's for us the feedback that we get is that it's really different for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, we have some people who do it on day one and they write in and say it's changed my life. I would say that's pretty extreme after a day. But there seems to be a moment where the penny drops. It's normally somewhere within take 10. At least that's the conversion rate suggests that. But for some people it can be a couple of weeks down the line. But it's like going to the gym. You go once or twice, and then you don't do any more, it's not going to make any difference. You start going on a regular basis, and you really start to see the benefits.
Absolutely. So I really recommend you using Headspace if you're interested. There is a book also by Mathieu Ricard, the French monk who translated the Dalai Lama.
Yeah, that's right.
It's Why Meditate. It's in French and English. Very, very great book. And it's getting everywhere in business in Silicon Valley. That's what makes it feel like it's a fashion, because there are meditation sessions at Evan Williams' company in the morning. Yeah. There are meditation sessions with a whole office in some businesses. Yeah. And there is a whole conference by my friend Soren Gornhammer, who is Wisdom 2.0.
Yeah.
And it's all about tech and mindfulness. And meditation is just one aspect of it. Yeah. So I think it's big, and we're going to keep having sessions like this at LeWeb. I hope you enjoyed. It's different, at least. Yeah. I'm all mellow now. Well, thank you so much, guys. And you'll be around if I want to meet you, meditate with you. Next year we should do a meditation room at LeWeb. I think that's
it's a plan.
How do we contact you?
Oh yeah, there should be some details coming up there. But if you, the best place to reach us is headspace.com. But there we are on Twitter as well.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Lo.
Thank you.
Cheers.